Hey everybody, Crypto Mentor 99. How you doing? It is the evening in the United States, May the 2nd, and back by popular demand, Chief Marketing Officer and yes, Chief Spiritual Officer Val from LocalCoinSwap. Val, good to see you again.
It's a pleasure to be here, John. As always, I always look forward to this.
Yeah. Hey, I'm going to start with the white paper. And just to let everybody know that the white paper is on their website, I'm going to put that in the link below. And the more I read this white paper, and I mean this, the more excited I get about the project. It's like I should be an employee or something. So on page 24, and I'm not being funny, but on page 24, it says local coin swap was started by a team of qualified cryptocurrency experts, not beginners, experts and enthusiasts, frustrated by their inability to quickly or easily buy and sell new digital assets. And one of the things that I tell people, go to the white paper, and the first thing I do before I even look at the project is take a look at the team. And my introduction's a little long-winded, so I did just that. I went to the website and I've got 12 pages. I'm not going to go over them all. I'm serious. I've got 12 pages of the leaders on local coin swap and the advisors. And you guys, seriously, you are packed with experience.
Well, it's all relative, right? Like experience, I always say it's not the age of the car that matters, but the mileage. And I think among all of us, there is quite some mileage ahead. And I think what I really like about this team, I mean, personally, the guys are great and I love them. And, it's always like this morning I had, by the way, here it's already noon. So this morning I had a small meeting. And it's always such a pleasure to work with them. But what I also like is the complementarity of the team, both
Yeah.
from, let's say, the soft skills in personalities as, the technical skills or, the different experiences. And I think because of that, and obviously the fact that there is some nice liking each other sauce going on and a great project, it creates a very beautiful, cohesive structure. And, it's just fun to work together. I think that's also a very important thing that always reflects and sort of spills over to our community.
Yeah. And again, this is our third interview, so I know some of these questions, but I want some of the new people that maybe don't know you or local coin swap. How did you find local coin swap or vice versa? Like when did you get invited to be on the team?
So the team is like let's say a core group of the team knows each other for many years, and I kind of got it like again, it's a sort of a personal story. I'm in Australia for a year now,
Right.
always kind of going back and forth to Europe once in a while. And I met Nathan and Daniel actually through a friend, and we started talking, and it clicked immediately. And we kept talking, sort of stayed in touch. And I remember it was like, October, November, I think, when we met, and then there was a Christmas break. Everybody's kind of family traveling. And I think in April, Nathan writes me a message, says, "Val, we need to talk. When can we talk? It's quite urgent, And I said, okay, let's have a chat. And he's like, okay, we're doing ICO. This is the thing, somehow the plans we had before, we're gonna push them forward. There is no sort of reason to wait. Let's do this. You want to be on board?" And I said like right away, okay, let's go. So that's been like sometime in January that was like officially on board with local CoinSwap.
Okay.
And it's actually not that long, but it's I feel like we've been working together for years because it's really a 24/7 thing. It's quite amazing, but it's a marathon, and the ICO is going well. We'll talk about that maybe as well. But it's really quite intensive because we have the ICO, but then the platform community building is also like very important, and we have to do several things in parallel. And that's something that we're actually lucky to have that kind of experience and mileage. I think otherwise it's quite challenging. and we're handling well. And I'm super excited. I don't know if you saw the video that Nathan posted
No.
of the prototype. It's amazing. Like he showed how the platform would look like, the interface and then the basic functionality. So, seeing that, you already, to be honest, I can't wait. It's amazing. And maybe for the people who are not very familiar or at all with LocalCoinSwap, in a tiny, tiny nutshell, LocalCoinSwap is a peer-to-peer marketplace for cryptocurrencies. Simply put, I want to buy or sell, you want to sell or buy, we find each other, and we agree on volume and price. I send you cash outside the platform, crypto is in escrow, and once the cash arrived, I receive my crypto. Very simple. You would say, what's the big deal about it? The big deal is that the commissions that the seller pays go back to the investors 100%. Okay, it's like I sound like a broken record maybe, but recently, I always write things down when I talk, and I was like, let me do some numbers. People asked me to do some estimations, and I honestly cannot wait. One coin, because look, even I am overwhelmed with the amount of cryptos and projects that are out there. And LocalCoinSwap gives me a peace of mind because I always think, you know what? We start with 20 coins already, for sure, right? So just by owning, I will for sure have a wide spectrum of cryptocurrencies because of the dividends. And probably in 6 months, a year time, this will go up to 100, if not more coins. So it always kind of appeases me by being a team member, but also like a piece owner of the platform that, I don't have to worry, I don't have to stress, I don't have to follow up on everything. All I need to do is, sort of make this project succeed as much as possible. And then, I will have access, and not only access, sort of, let's call it crypto wealth from a very wide spectrum. And that's something that, honestly, even I myself, I cannot wait for the platform to be online and then, generate amazing volumes of trade and obviously the profits, that's
sure.
what everybody was looking forward to.
And Bale, on this subject, because I was going to ask you about this, could you explain to people how you guys are unique in the fact that if you are a token holder, right, you will receive the profits or a percentage, obviously, of the profits that you guys bring in. Could you explain that to everybody, please?
Sure. I think that's a very good and very important question because, it really takes a while to sink in because it's very unorthodox. It's somehow, it's too good for the traditional mind to consider it and absorb it properly. So very simply, unlike many other projects or even some that share some profit, we say, we are the guiding force. We give the project structure, but it is the community and the investors that make it happen by investing in the token. So when you have LCS or crypto shares, you own a direct percentage of the platform. So let's keep it simple. Let's say you're a relatively big investor. Out of 100 million, you bought 1 million tokens, and in a nutshell, that means I mentioned we have 20 markets. 20 markets, I will tell you quickly, Ethereum, Bitcoin, Litecoin, Dash, Bitcoin Cash, and ETC, Ethereum Classic. And added with that is Monero, Ripple, EOS, Tronix, Tether, VeChain, Binance, Power Ledger, Decision Token, Golem, Walton, Neo is added recently, and then Stellar and Cardano is set up to be for sure added before the launch in August. So we have these 20 coins, and before that, I also gave you guys an example, the buy and the sell process. So in each of these coins, let's call them markets, people can trade, right? Whenever a trade is happening, a little commission is taken, yeah? And that commission is basically added to the profit of each market. Mm-hmm. At every quarter, starting from February 2019, we automatically distribute the profits. How do you say so? Automatically. That's why and how we use the blockchain.
Right.
We use the blockchain for in our opinion, the most important component to distribute profits. So we'll take a snapshot of the Ethereum blockchain to localize the LCS token holders. So you can move them around, you can keep them in one place, doesn't matter. Right before the dividend distribution, snapshot is taken, amount of LCS is sort of understood, and you will receive an exact amount of dividend tokens to your amount of LCS. So let's say you own 1 million LCS, you receive 1 million dividend tokens. And then you say, so Val, what am I supposed to do with it? Are they worth something? Yes, absolutely. This dividend tokens, 1-to-1 ratio you receive, are unique for that period. So, for example, let's say we made 500, thousand Monero profit, or 50,000, 2,000 profit in Ethereum, 300 in Bitcoin. So for each market, there are profits made, right? And in each market, through this dividend coins, so let's call them LCSD, just the working title.
Sure.
LCSD1, because you will have new tokens for every period. And these dividend tokens you can send to a smart contract, and you specify, or you say send all the 20 profit coins, my profit, my dividends, to these addresses, or you can just use the platform and say, just send it all there. It can be quasi-automated, and you will receive a piece, your piece of all the profits for each market. 1 million, 1 million is a good amount. I hope some people own it. 1 million LCS gives you 1 million LCSD, the dividend token D1, and that will entitle you to, let's say, 1% or 1.2, depends how many tokens will be in total,
sure,
of the total profits. The total profits you will be able to follow on the dashboard, hopefully live or quasi-live. Okay, so the idea is to, in a way, disrupt the minds, but say crypto is cool, it's amazing, but we're gonna apply it very simple. We're gonna apply it to share the profits with you, because you guys help us, a great deal to make it happen. I hope that was somewhat clear. Of course, I wrote an article, there is sort of a video presentation, we have Telegram, so whoever wants to know more, I do sort of encourage, yes, feel free to buy immediately, but do some research, because it's even more amazing that I can convey in a few minutes. Sure. I know I take a lot of time, but I could talk about this for hours and hours and give examples and calculations. So do that for yourself, and I promise you it will be hard not to buy it, because most of our investors are buying twice, 3 times, even 4 times. So the more they understand about the project, the more they say, hey, this is something very, very interesting that will grow both in its width, more coins, and in its depth, more volume per coin, with the success of LocalCoinSwap platform. So please go ask questions, educate, inform yourself. And I think once you do that, it will be very hard not to buy LCS, especially if you start looking into the volume of the markets, of the peer-to-peer market, and take into account we are just the first second of the clock ticked for the crypto market, right? So we're just basically starting both as a platform, but as sort of the whole crypto community. And, honestly, I could put my hand in the fire. I would, it's just going to grow. The only question is how fast and, how soon, basically.
Sure. And we talked about this in the pre-interview, and this is really basic, but maybe because I'm on Telegram a lot, maybe it's happened to me 3 times, and the first time I almost fell for it. So on your Telegram, okay, I know this is true, but I just want to ask, the expert, Dr. Val, the expert. So the admin person will never send you originally at the first time a message saying, hey, give me your email address, or hey, I need your wallet address. I mean, sort of explain that to people, because it's happened to me 3 times.
So we posted in our pin message, we repeat it a few times a day. We will never, ever directly contact you. That's one. Even more, we will never, ever ask you to send any money or Ethereum or whatever to Telegram, ever. some people might want to invest with fiat or whatever. They can email us with our official email, but we will never use that medium to, sort of approach you, first of all. So we will never contact the Telegram users directly in private message. And we will never, ever, for any reason, like impossible, never, not even imaginable, ask you to send any type of money or verification money or whatever through Telegram, ever. So that being said, we have to note that the scammers and that whole hyenas and parasites, if I can use these harsh terms, are also getting more advanced and clever. They are there and they're observing people, in moments of confusion or when people need help, and they write them directly, pretending to be us. So, this is the beauty of crypto, is that there is a lot of freedom, but that implies a lot of responsibility as well, responsibility. So please, please, please keep a sharp and cool head. If the deal, like often, they offer you like a 200% bonus or whatever on site, it's also often bad that people get tricked, or sometimes they offer to solve a problem for you. Never, ever fall for that. Do never send money to anyone pretending of us, or for that matter, any project, because 99.999% chance it's a scam. So I think it's also important that we should educate, and I'm really glad about this question, and inform people, because I think these scammers exist because one way or another it seems to be working, because there's so many of them, it's like a plague.
Yeah.
Okay? And we are extremely well monitoring the Telegram, so even in our group, it's too much. And basically what I'm trying to say is we can get rid of them by, if it's not successful, if it doesn't work, they'll stop doing it. Yeah. So for the middle long term or the long term, I hope this will be weeded out. And I really hope that people are not so nonchalant, because it's money. It's the same thing. Yeah. I come to you on the street and say, hey man, give me $1,000 or $300 or whatever. I'll come back to you with a golden egg. Just trust me on this. And it's even worse than that, because you don't even see the person. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So you would never do that. So why? So please do not sort of I know it's simple and easy, but that shouldn't reduce mental thresholds to just easily send cash, or be tempted for something that, if it's too good to be true or sounds too good, that most likely it is.
Yeah, well, today I stumbled across an easy one. I was on my Twitter account and I was on Telegram, and I won't say the name of the lady's name, but a lady went on there and said, I'm the new admin person. If you want to receive some Bitcoin, direct message me. So I'm like, okay, I'm not going to go on Telegram and tell everybody she's a fraud. So I went on Twitter and I said, hey guys, there's a lady whose name is blank, and she's acting to be an admin person. And then after I don't know exactly, but after 15 or 20 minutes, a few people on the Telegram, on LocalCoinSwap, came on and said, lady, you're crazy. You're not the admin. You're a scammer. Get out of here. And then she left. It was weird, And again, it sounds simple, but if you've never ran into it before, you think she's the new admin person. But anyhow.
Yeah. No, I understand, but it's a very deep problem. It's a deep issue, and you could even say it might be even linked to Telegram to some extent, because you ban them, and then in a way they still can recover and come back in another format and frame. But again, when somebody offers you, like I tell you, hey, I'm gonna give you a golden egg, I'm gonna give you some money, but give me some money first. It's that same concept. Like, don't fall for that. It's a traditional, and I think they're very clever, and they optimize, they do little tweaks and seem a lot of like try to mimic admins, but at the same time, they play on our emotional or psychological weaknesses. We're like, maybe, why not? It's like, let's gamble. And then, and that's how it works, I think. And then some people send it, or a bit of distraction. But again, guys, this is valuable. It is money. So do not be too loose with it. You wouldn't do that with cash money or even a bank transfer.
Yeah.
Think about it in the same way. It is easy, but it doesn't mean you have to be like sort of easy with your own money. Okay,
Right.
so be careful. Like, basically common sense. Keep a cool head. Common sense. If it's too good to be true, most likely it is.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, thanks, Val. Yeah. Yeah.
If you ever want to sort of, throw money, I'll know if you guys want. I'll share my address. We'll make a trust fund or an NGO fund for charity. You can always sort of dump any kind of crypto there, and we can donate or whatever. We'll decide what to do with it. So feel free to do that. Some people might have an urge. You never know.
Yeah. No, that's
Sometimes
good.
it feels good to give.
Yeah. No, that's good. So I don't have a copy of the roadmap in front of me. So what would you say to someone that is an investor? And I don't know, but like here in the United States, all people look at is the price. Like, what's the price today? And I'm always like, hey, if you don't believe in the team and the underlying technology and what they're doing, I don't care what the token value is today, next week. This is just me. A year from now, I'm giving all mine to my grandkids, okay? 30 years from now or whatever. So, but that's my philosophy, delayed gratification. I don't expect everybody to be like me. But Val, what would you say to someone, maybe this is a weird question, that doesn't want to be a long-term 10-year investor? What would you say to them as far as what's next on the roadmap? Whether they want to sell right away or not, like what's kind of next for LocalCoinSwap?
Before I answer that question, I would like to sort of have a little preamble,
Sure.
answer. I think the crypto markets are amazing, but they're still very young, and one could say there are many problems or issues or things. So I think a lot of the crypto mentality today of investors is about the big swing, okay, which is fine. Like I bought something, and then a few months later it's time 5. That's go to the stock market. If you have 5%, everybody is celebrating. Here it's like 500% is very realistic. So people are kind of became accustomed to that. So these type of questions come forth from that. So it becomes a little bit, we have this tulip mania going on, if I can use my sort of background and my PhD stuff. There's like, let's, from zero to hero and then back to -0 and whatnot. So I think it's also that mentality there, which is okay. And I think a lot of questions that come are also from that direction. Like, so in 3 months it's going to be that? Yeah, maybe. But I think in our case, we can have that. But what is very cool in our case is that the model, the pricing of the coin will be very quickly and directly linked with real business economic crypto value.
Yeah.
I think that's very unprecedented. And then it will be very easy because once you have dividends, and I'll come to your roadmap questions.
No, you're fine.
I answered very extensively. So when you have crypto dividends, you can say, hey, if I put in $1,000 and based on these dividends, it gives me a return, in US dollar value, let's say $500, that's 50% return yearly, right? And then it's basically, we'll see what the market will do. How big of a return on investment is big enough so that will establish the local coin swap price. And I think that's something beautiful because it has a very good upside potential to appease these guys who want to big swings, because right now it's 40 cents, right? From the moment LCS coin provides you a return of 20, 40, 50% a year, that is way undervalued, right? So that's one thing. So the local coin, so LCS price will jump very likely from the moment we'll have our first dividends, probably even in advance once the volumes are known and publicized. The other thing is that this is a bit of a different approach because it's a long-term store of value.
Yeah.
Okay? You can say the value is for now, but when you buy LCS crypto shares or LCSR crypto shares, you are actually getting a piece of a business.
Yes.
I think that's a business that's growing, that's expanding, that's widening. And I think that's something interesting. So to people who are looking for upswings, I would say, sure, go ahead. But think, do you want to win once or you want to win many times? And to be honest, the core are like, I'm pretty confident 80%, if not more, of our investors are planning not to sell. And I'm sure, some of them might sell if they need the money for the kids or whatever, but most of them will not, because it's just, it would be quite silly. Okay, that's one thing. Now, the other thing is that we have quite interesting things lined up. So the prototyping, like people were before a few months ago were asking, so what is the MVP? What did you do so far? Now we have tangible output. So every 2 weeks, new videos will come to show the progression, so that people can look and see what's happening with the investment, but at the same time provide very valuable feedback. Okay, so we already received at least 5 or 6 very interesting points, which is the beauty of the community, right? Because we said we have great leadership and skills, but never forget, we always consider the community to be our CEO. Yeah. Our advisors are, imagine thousands of brains at our disposal willingly helping us to improve. That's, it's genius, and we really, really appreciate it. So that's one. In parallel, we're saying, okay, look, LocalCoinSwap is relatively known in the English-speaking markets right now. Okay, so we covered all the bases, the ICO listing sites, advertisement, marketing, with all the issues with Facebook ads and whatnot. Right now, we're in full preparation to access some new markets, and I'm very excited about that. So hopefully by end of the week, we'll have Japanese, Arabic, Spanish, and soon after Chinese websites and white papers ready to really enter those markets and expand the investor size and scope. Okay, you would say, why do you do that, Val? Yeah, okay, you would like to have more money raised, yes, but it's very important for us that LocalCoinSwap will be an international platform where people in different areas can trade, access. They can trade locally, they can trade internationally, completely up to them. But we want to sort of from day one, and day one is where the platform will be live, have a very broad access and sort of, market share or accessibility in different regions, so that we can really work on that and have a great foundation to grow the amount of people that come. Because I really recommend to look at the video. The accessibility is one from security and ease of use of, no verification, but the interface is also very slick, intuitive, and gentle. And, basically, again, my mom is an investor, but I also know for sure my mom will be able to easily buy or sell crypto without any guidance. And I think that's key. And in order to really create that momentum, we want to be present, in Korea, Japan, Russia. We already have a really good foothold. Obviously, the Europe and US and then Canada as well. But we basically want to have a little big enough group of investors, fans, so that we can sort of grow through that and cascade that. And like I always say, ICO, we work our asses off, pardon my French, but the real work will start when the trading will start. Because then we want to make you guys a lot of money. Because we want to make a lot of money. And how do we do that? By volume, by creating a lot of value for people who trade, by making it so easy, so pleasant, that they say, why would I go anywhere else, right? So, and when new people come in, we would like them to come to us, and they will stay. That's the idea. Because, like it or not, crypto is still for the non-initiated, still quite complicated, tricky wallets and this. So the real challenge and the goal is to, yes, we take a share of the market, but we want that other big piece. We want a nice share of the big market that hasn't been tapped yet. And in order to do that, there is a long-term vision that we're starting even now with these translations, and people say, oh yeah, on the surface it seems raising money. Yes, but below that, the vision is to expand into these markets, be known, have investors there who talk about you, so that we can really grow properly in volume of trade once the platform is live.
So in the United States, sometimes you'll walk into a business, you know, like a men's clothing store, if I'm going to buy some suits or something, and kind of they kind of say jokingly, but it's seriously, and it's kind of what I hear you saying. You like when I bought some suits about a year ago, they said, "Well, we want you to be our customer for your whole life. Like in 5 years, when you need three more suits, we would like for you to come back here." So that's kind of, I mean, not that that phrase is specifically American or in the United States, but I've heard that a lot. So I kind of hear you saying the same thing. Hey, why would you want to go anywhere else?
Exactly, and I think that that vision is there because we really want to grow. Like we want to make the platform grow, and I think in our case the model is quite. I love working with and for and through local coins because it's an easy sell. I don't have to sell. I just speak my mind because look, the value provided. Today I'm gonna have another interview with someone to manage the not the community, but like we have a new box online for the Russian, English, more Telegram support, so that we want to like really be there for people. That it's not that this is crypto. It's like whatever, figure it yourself out. No, we want to bring that old sort of customer support, but they're not really customers, especially if they're investors, and create a new framework where people see that everybody can win and it's shared. And I think that can create a cohesive structure that people will happily come back because of the ideology and the philosophy, but because of extreme amounts of value and different layers of value and ease of use we're providing or aim to provide. And I think that's something that will probably hopefully in a year, but over time definitely will put us on the map. And again, ICO, wonderful, love it, yes, raising money, but we always have the longer term vision. Okay, we say ICO. You see how we manage Telegram?
Yeah.
Every question is answered. I want to do better. So now we're trying to get more support so that there is even more, even like parallel people, not just one person at every moment in time, maybe more. That different channels are answered immediately, that people are taken care of, and people really appreciate that.
Yeah.
Because basically we want to treat people like people instead of as a consumer or a customer, right? We're not trying to squeeze money. We're trying to make you feel nice and good and say, yeah, no, you can go wherever you want, but this is the way we do it here. If you like it, sure. And I think that attitude is something that is very appealing. It's let's call it the humane approach, instead of the consumerism or the shove it down your throat business approach, or all these techniques that people are using. And obviously that takes time because that's not you gotta build trust. You gotta be there for people. You gotta tell them 10 times, and then the 11th they'll say, that's pretty cool. And then you need to explain and re-explain. And I think that's something that I'm really proud of the team because it's quite exhausting. It is exhausting, but we are still very much like, yeah, let's keep it up. And again, we want to put the bar higher and improve there, and we always listen to the people, and we really listen. We try to improve it, and we are very lucky as well because the model we set up is quite genius because we are doing it together, right? Yeah. So the people also provide feedback. We are never dismissive. We're never saying, this is not like that. We're not trying to pretend we're perfect. We're saying we're trying to be really good. Help us make it great, and then greater and greater and greater, because nothing is perfect. And we want to have this, I think we already instilled it, a continuous improvement attitude, both in the team and the community. And this sort of positive, growing forward attitude that, no matter what, we will improve. Yeah. So I think that's also the very big strength of the team, the concept, and the platform. There will be no stagnation. Yeah. New features, new coins, new ideas. John, we never even talked properly about the community venture fund of 10% of LocalCoinSwap shares. Okay? Well, the stuff we can do there. So I think, there is a lot of stuff to be rolled out. But in short, the roadmap after 25 minutes of rambling.
Val.
Yeah, this is me.
I love
But
you. Yeah.
I'm very excited because look, after like 100 days non-stop working, I'm still this excited, and I get more and more excited because it becomes more and more real. You see the platform coming about. There's more people, different languages, so it's gonna be amazing, and I really hope we can make it even better for you guys. And I really hope, no, I hope whatever you guys have in mind of how much money you can make, that we can surpass those expectations. That's my personal goal. That people be like, whoa, I didn't think that would happen right away, or like the second one, or whatever. So that's a very fun challenge to have, right? Like we want to surprise you guys. And the thing is that your interests are my interests, right? You're an investor. So it's very aligned, and I don't have to pretend. Like I don't have to be like, ooh, all this sort of la-di-da talk, and then I might speak well or be relatively eloquent, even though English is not my native language. But it is sincere because it's for me. I'm an LCS owner. I want to have more money than I have expectations for, and I want to do it for you, and it creates a very dynamic and bubbly vibe, and that's something I really cherish and treasure, and I really hope that that the community keeps this amazing vibe. We have these beautiful pictures coming in from Big Vince competition. It's fantastic, like with their family. I think you also sent some amazing pictures. There we go. It's amazing, and the community initiatives, like it's beautiful. Also, we have some people like helping us to potentially make some partnerships. So a lot of interesting stuff is happening, and I'm really looking forward to sort of slowly build further, but structurally, have more people who support. Because the idea is also like we want to, some projects or life, you take 2 steps forward, 1 back. We want to make sure that every step we take forward is solid one, and we can sort of grow structurally and really, build that trust and a brand. Like we need new words, like a new identity, a new thing. It's even a new business model. It's something that, in my opinion, never existed, and it's first of its kind,
Sure.
And it's simple. It's very, very simple, right? It's simple. It's you, us, we make it together, right?
No, that's great.
And that's the beauty of blockchain. And I think that's the best application of blockchain. Because of that, no need for, everything will be fair and transparent, and then we can really focus on what's really important.
No, that's awesome. So let me just add something. For those of you that follow my channel, you probably know who I'm talking about. I'm not going to mention the name, but I had a conversation with another project, and I said to him, guys, the major complaint that I hear is that you're very far off and distant. And I didn't say LocalCoinSwap, but I said, I'm a small investor in this other. I said, the guys are on Telegram all the time answering people's questions. And then they answer the questions, and the guys from the team say, did I answer your question? Are you happy? Is there anything else I can do for you? I said, you guys got to change your music. I said, people send me emails going, those guys are so unfriendly. They're not on, Twitter. They don't do anything in Telegram. We just read about them in news or on internet articles that I put for their company. And it's sad. I said, you guys got a great project. You don't seem happy, and that you want to connect with people. That's what I told them.
I think that's a huge, like, I cannot overestimate, like, it's I would scream it's a big problem with crypto world and the projects, because it's like it's very disconnected, the communication, the connection, the interaction, and the technology or the ideas itself. And then of course we have all the scams and the spams, etc. on it. Look, my sort of wish and desire is to, and this will be always post factum, a posteriori, because right now we need to set the stage, right? That the dividends will come, the support will even improve, that this will be sort of the bar. And I want, like, I would be very happy, because it's not only our social responsibility, I consider it to be. It is very good for business. It builds loyalty. It's win-win. Everybody's happy. But crypto markets need that.
Yeah.
Crypto markets need solidity, more like, not pun intended, need structure and understanding that this is not something far away. It's not gambling. We need to get away from that, crazy, high risk, high reward kind of attitude. No, no, no. We need to kind of come back down to earth and say, this is amazing. You can, like, we want to show that it can be done this way. We can do it. It's not impossible. It's not only impossible, it's fun. It's better for everyone, right?
Yeah.
And I think, like, I would love to have that. Oh yeah, you guys are not LocalCoinSwap. What about this? What about that? And I think, fortunately or unfortunately for us, it will be after we've proven the success in dividends and the support. Then it will be like, bam, this is it. Like, this is how it's supposed to be. And I think then the projects will adapt and change, because that's the sort of the rule or the law of the jungle. If they don't, people will not be happy, because there will be something to compare it with.
Yeah.
And I think that's a bit of the issue today, that it's not there. But again, I understand it's very intensive. It's exhausting, and you need, like, both patience and understanding and empathy. But it is crucial. It is the most important thing. Forget regulation. Forget everything else. This is the most important thing. The interaction between teams, projects, and the community, and the investors or people who invest. That is key. And not only, treat the big investors like, oh, you talk to them, but every investor, no matter how small, even if it's $100, is, deserves your respect, your attention, because for them, $100 might be the same as for somebody's 1 million. And again, it's a humane or humanistic, whatever you want to call it, approach. And I really sincerely hope that it can be a new,
that's good.
Industry.
So let's end with this, because I always ask, whenever I do an interview, I always ask the same last question, which you probably know what it is already. So, Val, is there anything that maybe we didn't talk about that you're like, oh, I want to bring up, I forgot to bring this up, or you want to re-explain something, or just, again, you kind of have the last word. Is there anything that you just want to say?
A lot of things, John. Brazilian things I still want to talk about, but that's good. Like, again, let's talk again in a few weeks or a month or whenever you feel it's time. I think what I really would like to, like, for sure next time talk about is the Community Venture Fund for tourism, because it's very interesting, exciting, but I also want to throw it out there for people to start, marinating on it, thinking what can we do, because it could be potentially a lot of money on a continuous basis that is at the community's disposal to do stuff.
Yeah.
We can plant trees, whatever. Like, again, I would like to talk about that. Then I also would really like to kind of try to activate the community and say, guys, you all have a referral code.
Yeah.
Get it out there. Cover your bases, because your friends and family, if I'm even 50% right, when this project will be a success, you'll be in trouble from all your friends and family, because they'll say, hey, how come I was not informed? I guarantee. I mean, obviously, I personally did that. Like, I even tell, like, oh, look, it's whatever you want to do with it. Just don't come back to me to say that you didn't know. So I think that's very important. Like, let's inform as many people as possible. And that's all I ask. And then, like, if they invest or not, whatever. If they do, 5% bonus for each side. And if not, at least they know about it and they know what kind of projects exist and how we do things. So that will be already a big win. And besides that, I can't wait for the next video to see what the guys, the tech guys came up with for the platform. And, it's amazing. And to be honest, I can't wait to use it. I can't wait to use it myself. Very exciting things. And of course, languages. We still need a Korean, French, and German community manager, maybe translator. Shoot me a mail or Telegram chat. That would be really amazing. But John, I think you know me. If you give me the floor, I'll keep talking. So a lot of things that I still want to discuss, but like for next time, at least let's put that on the agenda.
I already wrote it down. I wrote a note. Yeah.
Definitely be something interesting to talk about, and then of course we will also talk about what after the ICO. Okay.
Yeah.
Like right after.
No, that's
I think
awesome.
that would be a very interesting thing, and I also want to make sure that with a lot of projects it gets very quiet, and I want to sort of both incentivize us as a team, but also give a pledge to the community. It's going to be the opposite.
Yeah.
Okay. So we will sort of get even more schwung, and then we're going to really start get going.
No, that's great. That's great. Like I
And
said.
thanks for having me, John.
No, that's great. So I'm going to put all the links below, and a shameless plug. I'm going to put my referral link below, and yeah, again, tell Tom that I said hi, and Nathan, and again, love what you guys are doing, and yeah, I'll check back with you, and we'll.
They'll watch the video. I'll make sure everybody watches your video, John. We're big fans.
Well, you know what was kind of funny? The last video you retweeted, and I think like 85 of your friends retweeted it to somebody else. You know,
that's how it should be. That's perfect.
And a lot of them were, so I appreciate that. So anyhow, Val, Chief Marketing Officer, Chief Spiritual Officer, LocalCoinSwap, thank you so much, and we will definitely have you back.
Pleasure.
All right, see you, Val. Bye-bye.
Bye.